Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Maria Albina Michael, and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Over 50% of children in the age group of 15 to 18 receive first dose of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. National vaccination drive reaches over 158 crore 88 lakh mark. DGCA extends ban on international flights till the 28th of February. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver keynote address at the national launch ceremony of Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav, say Swarnim Bharat Ki Or, tomorrow. Political activities gain momentum for the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states. Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav's daughter-in-law Aparna Yadav joins BJP. Aam Aadmi Party names Amit Palekar as its chief ministerial candidate in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts with the people in Mann Ki Baat program on 30th January. Crude oil prices rise to $85 per barrel, highest since 2014. In Australian Open tennis, Rafael Nadal and Ashley Barty cruised to the 3rd round. And in cricket, South Africa won the toss and chose to bat against India in the first ODI of World Cup Super League series in Paarl. As the number of COVID-19 cases is rising fast in several parts of the country, we appeal to our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, get vaccinated. As the new Omicron variant of coronavirus is causing concern, please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Over 50% of children between the age of 15 and 18 years have received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Praising them, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said that enthusiasm of these children for vaccination is inspiring people all over India. The Prime Minister has expressed happiness over the COVID-19 vaccination drive of children. In a tweet today, the Prime Minister said, "Young and youthful India showing the way." He said it is important to vaccinate and observe all COVID-19 related protocols. He said, together, the country will fight this pandemic. Expressing happiness over the encouraging news that over 50% of youngsters between the age group of 15 to 18 have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, he said, "Let us keep the momentum." Over 158 crore 88 lakh doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in the country under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry today said more than 76,35,000 COVID vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, over 2,82,000 new COVID cases were reported in the country in the same period. The ministry said more than 1,88,000 COVID patients have recovered during the last 24 hours, and national recovery rate stands at 93.88%. A total of 8,961 cases of Omicron variant of COVID-19 have been reported in the country so far.
The Union Health Ministry has asked the states and union territories to enhance testing so that an effective track of the spread of COVID-19 can be kept and immediate citizen-centric action can be initiated. In a letter to states and UTs, Additional Secretary in the Union Health Ministry, Aarti Ahuja, advised them to pay attention to this aspect immediately. She said that new variant of COVID-19, that is Omicron, which has been designated by the World Health Organization as a variant of concern, is currently spreading across the country. She said that it is seen from the data available on the Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR portal that testing has declined in many states and UTs. She reminded the basic objective remains the early detection of cases for quick isolation and care. Ms. Ahuja said that in addition, testing remains a key strategy for pandemic management as it helps in identification of new clusters and new hotspots of infection. She added that this can facilitate immediate action for containment, contact tracing, isolation and follow-up. The Additional Secretary said This can enable the state and district administrations to curb the spread of infection and will ensure reduction in mortality and morbidity. India today extended the suspension of scheduled international flights till 28th of February. Restrictions will, however, not apply to international all-cargo operations flights approved by Director General Civil Aviation. DGCA order also said that scheduled international flights may be allowed on selected routes by the competent authority under the air bubble arrangement.
Bengaluru city continues in the grip of a surge in COVID-positive cases in Karnataka. It reported 25,595 positive cases and 7 deaths yesterday. Positivity rate has reached 18.97%. The Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike has made several preparations in an effort to contain the impact of COVID third wave. More from our correspondent.
Bengaluru city has witnessed 250% increase in case numbers. Hospitalization is, however, only 1.3% of overall active cases and less than 0.5% are on critical beds. COVID-19 is spreading more among adults than among children during the third wave. Since 95% of the COVID active persons are asymptomatic and quarantined at homes, Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike has started control rooms at each of the 27 medical officers of health units to monitor and share data related to COVID cases. Testing has increased to over 1 lakh per day. Tele-triaging is done within 24 hours of a person reported positive by over 300 mobile triage units. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Amid the huge spike in daily COVID cases, Kerala government plans to close all higher education institutions in the state. Kerala Higher Education Minister R. Bindu has said that a final decision will be taken tomorrow in the COVID review meeting. The possibility of online classes will also be considered. Meanwhile, the state recorded 28,481 new cases yesterday. Daily test positivity rate in the state crossed 35%. Thiruvananthapuram district witnessed an unprecedented surge with a test positivity rate of 47.8%. In the wake of the recent spike, COVID restrictions are being intensified all over the state.
In Haryana, a total of 8,388 new COVID-19 cases were reported and 8 people lost their lives to the infection in the last 24 hours. With this, total active cases in the state rose to 57,277. The positivity rate was registered at 21.3%. With 5,917 COVID patients recovering yesterday, recovery rate in Haryana now stands at 92.2%. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Archana Kumari of AIIMS, New Delhi will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to the coronavirus. This program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on telephone number 011-2342-1230. Repeat 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. That is 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts using hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address at the national launch ceremony of Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav Se Swarnim Bharat Ki Or via video conferencing tomorrow. The program will unveil year-long initiatives dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav by the Brahma Kumaris, which include more than 30 campaigns and over 15,000 programs and events. During the event, Prime Minister will flag off 7 initiatives of Brahma Kumaris. During the event, a song dedicated to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav by Grammy Award winner Mr. Ricky Cage will also be released. The event is being held on the occasion of the 53rd Ascension anniversary of Pitashri Prajapati Brahma, founding father of Brahma Kumaris. The Medical Counselling Committee MCC will start NEET UG Counselling 2021 registration from today at mcc.nic.in. The qualified and eligible candidates can complete the registration for NEET Counselling 2021 till the 24th of January 2022.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Over 50% of children in the age group of 15 to 18 receive first dose of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. National vaccination drive reaches over 158 crore 88 lakh mark. DGCA extends ban on international flights till 28th of February. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver keynote address at the national launch ceremony of Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav Se Swarnim Bharat Ki Or tomorrow. Political activities gain momentum for the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states. Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav's daughter-in-law Aparna Yadav joins BJP. Aam Aadmi Party names Amit Palekar as its chief ministerial candidate in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts with the people in Mann Ki Baat program on 30th of January. Crude oil prices rise to $85 per barrel, highest since 2014. In Australian Open tennis, Rafael Nadal and Ashley Barty cruised to the 3rd round. And in cricket, South Africa won the toss and chose to bat against India in the first ODI of World Cup Super League Series in Par. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Political activities are gaining momentum in poll-bound states. In Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party has launched its 300-unit free electricity campaign today. Under the campaign, party workers are going door-to-door to fill the forms from general public who want to avail benefit of the scheme if the party comes to power. Party held its virtual rally at 11:30 this morning and another virtual rally is planned at 4:30. Congress leader and CM of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel, will also meet with party workers at party office in Lucknow. Earlier today, Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav's daughter-in-law Aparna Yadav joined BJP. She was inducted into the party in the presence of UP Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya and State BJP President Swatantra Dev Singh at the party headquarters in New Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, Aparna Yadav said, "The nation always comes first for her."
मैं आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री उत्तर प्रदेश श्री योगी जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, जैसे इन सभी लोगों का कि आपने मुझे भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मेंबर बनने का एक सुअवसर दिया। मैं हमेशा से प्रभावित रहती थी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से और मेरे चिंतन में हमेशा राष्ट्र सबसे पहले है। मैं बस यही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि अब मैं राष्ट्र की आराधना करने निकली हूँ। मैं बहुत बहुत हमेशा से प्रभावित रहती हूँ जिस प्रकार की कार्यशैली है।
Meanwhile, a total of 77 candidates have filed their nominations in Uttar Pradesh for the first phase of assembly election till date. The last date of filing nomination for this phase is 21st January. BJP has announced the names of 2 candidates for the second phase of elections. Bahujan Samaj Party named one candidate from Shravasti district. Political parties have intensified their poll campaign across the state. Samajwadi Party is scheduled to hold 2 virtual rallies today. The State Election Commission has filed 143 cases against different candidates for violation of Model Code of Conduct.
Goa is gearing up for the ensuing assembly elections. Hectic parleys are on in political parties to finalize the list of candidates. More from our correspondent.
For Goa assembly elections, some parties have announced their list of some candidates. BJP Parliamentary Board meeting is on at Delhi and Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant is attending this meeting. The list is likely to be announced today. Delhi Chief Minister and AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal announced today in a press conference that Advocate Amit Palekar will be the Chief Ministerial candidate of their party. Senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram asserted that the contest in Goa assembly elections is between Congress and BJP Party, Trinamool Congress and local Maharashtra-Wadi Gomantak Party have formed alliance. Congress and local party Goa Forward Party too have formed their own alliance. Due to pressure of pandemic and following the instructions from the election office, campaigning has emphasized more on digital and social media level. Mukesh Thali for AIR News from Panaji, Goa.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 30th of this month. Mr. Modi urged people to share their stories at MyGov India or the Namo app. He said in a tweet today, he is sure in the first Mann Ki Baat of 2022, people have lots to share in terms of inspiring life stories and topics. This will be the 85th edition of Mann Ki Baat. People can share their views in the Namo app or MyGov Open Forum. They can also dial toll-free number 1800 117800 and record their messages for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. Phone lines will remain open till the 28th of this month. People can also give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in the SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister. Some of the recorded messages may become a part of the broadcast.
The Delhi police has banned operation of sub-conventional aerial platforms including drones, hot air balloons and paragliders in the national capital from tomorrow ahead of Republic Day. Delhi Police Commissioner Rakesh Asthana said there is a possibility of terrorist airstrike in the national capital, due to which the order has been issued. National Disaster Response Force is celebrating its Raising Day today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the force on the occasion. In a series of tweets today, Mr. Modi said NDRF teams are at the forefront of many rescue and relief measures, often in very challenging circumstances. He said NDRF's courage and professionalism are extremely motivating. The Prime Minister wished teams of NDRF for their future endeavours. Mr. Modi further said the government is working on further sharpening the skills of NDRF teams so that maximum life and property can be saved during any challenge. Here is more in this report.
Established on this day in 2006, NDRF is observing its 16th Raising Day today. It is world's single largest force dedicated to disaster response. It is a multi-skilled and high-tech force that effectively responds to all type of natural and man-made disasters, including building collapses, landslides, devastating floods, and cyclones. It is strategically deployed across the nation as per vulnerability profile of the country. This humanitarian force always responded professionally in saving lives and livelihood, as well as preparing communities for any calamity, and stood up to its motto of Apada Seva Sadaiv Sarvatra. The swift and effective response of NDRF during Japan triple disaster 2011 and Nepal earthquake 2015 was acclaimed globally. RT Rana News Desk.
At close to $85 per barrel, oil prices yesterday climbed to the highest level since 2014. This has happened against the backdrop of rising global political tensions involving major oil producers such as the United Arab Emirates and Russia. Investors fear that this could exacerbate the already tight supply outlook. Some OPEC sources say that a price of $100 per barrel is not out of reach, stoking fears of driving global inflation up. And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
সনাতন তুমি হে নিখিল পালন নিখিল তারণ নিখিল জনমঙ্গলকার.
In today's episode, we remember social reformer Devendranath Tagore, who died on the 19th of January 1905. Father of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, Devendranath Tagore took the principles championed by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and turned them into Brahmoism, an influential sect in Bengal.
Devendranath was born in an affluent family to the industrialist Dwarikanath Tagore on 15th May 1817 in Calcutta. Devendranath developed a sense of detachment while still in his youth, and by the time he turned 30, he was devoting more time dwelling upon spiritual truth, which became a lifelong pursuit. Devendranath founded the Tattva Bodhini Sabha that aspired to promote the Adi Dharma through the philosophical inquiry and teaching of the Upanishads.
Devendranath also started the Tattva Bodhini Patrika to that end. The journal featured articles on the rationalization of Brahmo doctrines and the propagation of natural theism, as well as on female education, widow remarriage, and denouncing of polygamy. From the 21st of December 1843, Devendranath converted the society into a spiritual fraternity that came together regularly for prayer.
In 1848, Devendranath published a book based on selected passages from the Upanishads and published it as Brahmo Dharma, enshrining the fundamental principles of the Adi Dharma doctrine that emphasized monotheism and rationality, that focused on individual meditation, that rejected idolatry and caste distinctions.
In the 1860s, he moved to Shantiniketan, where he continued to read scriptures and ponder the limits of Brahmoism. Many years later, Rabindranath established his school and university at this place.
Till his death, Devendranath kept on working for betterment of Indian society. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember freedom fighters Hukam Chand Jain and Mirza Munir Beg, who were martyred on the 19th of January 1858. Hukam Chand Jain was born in 1816 at Hasi, Hisar district, and was a high official in the court of Emperor Bahadur Shah at Delhi, and appointed Kanungo of Hasi and some areas in Karnal district in 1841. He reached Delhi on hearing about the First War of Indian Independence in 1857.
He attended the conference of patriotic leaders at the Mughal court, in which great revolutionary leaders like Tantia Tope were also present. He offered to organize the freedom struggle in the Haryana region and began collecting an armed force after his return to Hasi. He attacked the British lines of communication with his own small armed force and inflicted heavy losses on the British, although his soldiers were equipped with only ordinary weapons.
He wrote a letter to the Mughal emperor in association with his compatriot Mirza Munir Beg, requesting reinforcements. However, Delhi was also occupied by the British army, and the letter signed by him and Mirza Munir Beg was discovered by the British in the Mughal records. The British commissioner immediately instructed the collector of Hisar to take strong action against Lala Hukam Chand Jain and Mirza Munir Beg. Their houses were raided by the British authorities and both were arrested.
They were sentenced to death and attained martyrdom. We salute the great martyrs.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
स्वाधीनता संग्राम के वे निशान जो साक्षी हैं हमारे सेनानियों के संघर्ष और बलिदान के। आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष श्रृंखला निशान, हर बुधवार को शाम 4:45 पर कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर।
In today's episode of Nishan, we will bring you Ahmednagar ke Qile ki kahani, Akashvani ki zubani. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
India's apple exports have risen exponentially by 82% since 2014. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal said this in a tweet. He said that an increase in exports of the fruit is helping the apple growers in states like Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. He said the government is committed to doubling farmers' income and strengthening exports. In a major setback to fugitive businessman Vijay Mallya, a UK court has ordered that his eviction along with the family from his plush London home. Mallya lives in the house with his son Siddharth and mother Lalita. The Swiss bank, UBS, will reportedly take possession of the luxury property. The court's judgment came in the case related to a refund of over 185 crore rupees that Mallya owes to UBS. The court agreed with the Swiss bank's position that giving more time to Mallya is not likely to make any material difference.
In Australian Open tennis tournament, Rafael Nadal put on a clinical performance to ease past German qualifier Yannick Hoffmann 6-2, 6-3, 6-4 and reached the third round today. The Spaniard remained on course for a men's record 21st Grand Slam title. The only former champion now left in the men's draw at Melbourne Park, Nadal is tied on 20 majors with Swiss Roger Federer and world number 1 Novak Djokovic, who are both absent from the tournament. In women's singles, Ashley Barty cruised into the third round of the Australian Open for the sixth time of her career with a convincing 6-1, 6-1 win over Lucia Bronzetti. The home favourite took just 52 minutes to beat the Italian qualifier and will now face number 30 seed Camilla Giorgi in the third round as the Australian bids to win the Melbourne Slam for the first time. In Cricket World Cup Super League ODI series, South Africa were 23 for 1 in 5 overs against India at par when reports last came in. The hosts won the toss and chose to bat in the first of the 3-match series. KL Rahul is leading the team India in the series as Rohit Sharma failed to recover from a hamstring injury.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi to have moderate fog. Mumbai is expected to have mainly clear sky. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky. Kolkata had fog and mist in the morning and will have mainly clear sky later. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze. Hyderabad will have partly cloudy sky with haze. Guwahati, Imphal, Kohima and Itanagar have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Shillong and Aizawl will have generally cloudy sky with haze.
The winners of Vande Bharat Nitya Utsav are gearing up to enthrall the audiences at the Republic Day Parade at Rajpath on the 26th of this month. Rehearsals for the performance are in full swing in New Delhi.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Over 50% of children in the age group of 15 to 18 receive first dose of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. National vaccination drive reaches over 158 crore 88 lakh mark. DGCA extends ban on international flights till 28th February. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver keynote address at the national launch ceremony of Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav Se Swarnim Bharat Ki Or tomorrow. Political activities gain momentum for the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states. Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav's daughter-in-law Aparna Yadav joins BJP. Aam Aadmi Party names Amit Palekar as its chief ministerial candidate in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts with the people in Mann Ki Baat program on 30th January. Crude oil prices rise to $85 per barrel, highest since 2014. In Australian Open tennis, Rafael Nadal and Ashley Barty cruised to the third round. And in cricket, South Africa won the toss and chose to bat against India in the first ODI of World Cup Super League series in Paarl. And with that, we end the midday news.